One feature that was, in recent time, denied or mocked, the large posterior. And in Europe, they went as far as creating appendages such as the bustle to specifically amplify the woman's posterior. The sole purpose of the device was to give European women the appearance of having a larger behind. This doesn't mean that black women are more beautiful than their counterparts, or vice versa. It just shows that black women in positions of power influenced medieval European society to a point where their features were associated with beauty and power, and were thus imitated. In the same way that the reverse is now becoming true for many black women who have for some time tried to imitate the hairstyle of white women.
I just want to ask a question right at the beginning. Have these people been written out of history? Have they been forgotten by most of us? And how hard was it to tease them out?
When historians show that the iconoclast movement was primarily an effort to remove all images and icons depicting black people in a position of power, or as deities, it is difficult for most to realize the true presence of Africans as nobles in Europe. It is even more difficult to admit the role of Africans as venerated deities. But that was precisely the intended outcome of the iconoclast movement. Masquerading as an exercise to remove icons altogether, its real objective was to redefine them. But for now, one must be thinking, if there were so many black people in Europe, where did they all go? It wasn't just one event that reduced the number of black Europeans to such low levels. It was the compounding effect of multiple trends: the Reconquista, the Inquisition, the forced exodus, and the fleeing of the Jacobites. After the invasion of the Iberian Peninsula by the predominantly black Moors, Europe rebelled against Islam, the new religion brought in by the Africans and the Arabs, the Reconquista. And so, from the 8th century to the 15th century, war and cultural reversal had become the trend. And it is during this period that the brutal inquisitions took place. The Inquisition employed brutal methods, including torture, to extract confessions and enforce orthodoxy within the Spanish kingdom. The Catholic monarchs Ferdinand and Isabella issued an edict that forced Jews to either convert to Christianity or leave Spain. Many of these Jews were Moors that had converted to Judaism to escape persecution, further emphasizing the Inquisition's role in religious and ethnic cleansing. But many of the blacks from Ireland to Spain chose exile to the new land, especially islands such as Jamaica. It is these black people who centuries later, though in fewer numbers, became the Jacobites. These Jacobites were exported en masse to the new land in the Americas, as it shows here in the book Jacobites' Gleanings, the Transportation in 1745 by J. Macbeth Forbes. It is in short a passenger manifest of the Jacobites that were taken to Antigua. And when we say they were taken, it means they were forced into exile to the islands. What is interesting here is that both their names and their physical description are given, and as you can see, the great majority are black.
One of the first batches of slaves that came to Jamaica, they were the Sephardic Jews. A lot of them, and a lot of people don't know this, are in the Caribbean.
They are.
In the islands.
And you're one of them. I know that.
I'm one of them.
I know that.
Because, you know, a lot of folk don't know that those roots are there. One of the first batches of slaves that came to Jamaica, they were the Sephardic Jews. It's documented.
And they're all over the Caribbean, South America, Central America, and even the South Central United States.